Bruh, did you pour my milk? Don't do that. What's that?
I'm kind of a big deal.
You don't got the credentials.
Well, that's disrespectful.
What up? What's up?
What's good?
Welcome back to another episode of the Don't Pour My Milk podcast, baby. We're going to start off with introducing myself. They call me Mr. Knockout Fantasy Football and my guy to the side.
It's your boy O. Like I said before, follow me down in the blog.
See? And
I stumbled on it a little bit, but they get the gist.
It's all good.
Yeah.
I just want to see that little stuttering thing come up again like it came when I did it that one time.
So that they listen to the we fishermen and they love us. So now
It's equal opportunity. I got you.
It's all good. Yo, listen, I'm super excited for this episode simply because we're going to talk about some little stuff that I love to do. You know, the sneaky loopholes. We're talking about fantasy loopholes, baby. Woo! I cannot wait. Are you excited as me to talk about the fantasy loopholes, dog?
You're excited enough for both of us. You know what I'm saying?
Woo. Oh, man. I think O told me something a little while ago. He
Talk
said,
to me, cat.
Yo, you said if you ain't trying to be sneaky, then you ain't playing fantasy. It's not something that you said?
I said, if you ain't trying to cheat,
Yep.
you're not playing hard enough.
I'm telling you. So this one's going to be a little different because it's going to involve our league business and we're going to make it the whole episode.
I feel like this is a lot of league business.
It's going to be some stuff.
Are we spilling our business?
And we're going to spill some of our business.
Putting
and
it
I
on
think
in
we're
the
going to
streets?
tell some people some ways to kind of kind of get over if you're not doing it already. If you haven't had those thoughts go through your head, you probably ain't doing it right. But that's why we have the show for you, right? So you can jump on, you can learn a little bit of something about the loopholes that each platform has and what you can do to kind of make your team better, right?
I'm growing, cat.
So, yo, listen.
Before we said jump on and I ain't say nothing. I'm just telling you I'm a better person.
Oh, man. I'm not even going to get on that. But I do want to talk about something.
Talk to me, cat. What's up?
I'm a little scruffy, you know what I mean? Like today. And I'm not feeling myself, but I was looking for something to do or somewhere to go. I couldn't find nowhere.
What are you talking about, cat? I'm lost.
I'm talking about can't you not look at me? I'm not pretty today, and I need a haircut, and I need to find a place because I've been looking all over New York for a spot. Where can I go?
Yeah, you was looking for a cut, and I happen to know a place that happens to have this t-shirt, this fly hoodie. You know what I'm saying? You could get barbershop apparel and the Queen's finest. At the barbershop, yeah, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Queen's finest,
finest, barbershop and apparel.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So look out for my boy Mickey. He's out there, man. And you can follow them down below for more stuff.
That's right. We want to give that plug in. Nothing but the best. That's all I hear from them. So please look them up. Purchase the merch. Hit them up when you can, all right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
so
sir.
we're going to jump into the fantasy loopholes. So first portion, I'm calling the 2-for-1 special. Right?
You peeling the scab right now, man.
I need you to explain what the 2-for-1 special means in an NFL football platform.
Let's talk about it, cat. The 2-for-1, the 2-for. That's what we call it. The 2-for. The 2-for-1 special is the Zoes. Cat, let me ask you a good question. How long you been in the league?
I've been in there for a few years now.
Okay. The very first year that you came in the league, something happened to you.
You just got to go there. You got to use me as an example. It's all good, though. It's all good, though.
Look, I warned you. I said, Kat, I know you do your little fantasy stuff on the side for years or whatever, but, this league is different.
Yeah, it was.
It's different managers.
I had to learn.
And a different caliber of pettiness and backhandedness and politics. we do understand the rules. You know what I'm saying? The first thing people have to do is always look for the rule book, right? And then find a way to get the loopholes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the 2-for-1 special happened to me. A guy that was on the show earlier, a week before, he cooked it up with my best man at my wedding. Called me around 1:00 at night in the morning. I said, this is strange. And I hear Dave Kiki and they with Uko. And I'm like, what's going on? And they was lining me up for the 2-for. So what happened is, 2-for-1 special, there's a loophole in the NFL platform, right? Where if you offer a manager one player and they're offering you 2 players, you can essentially void the trade if you pick up or do not drop another player. So if your team is too full because you pick somebody up, then it would essentially cancel the trade. So it's in a way for people to veto their own trade.
I understand.
So what happens is some people say, oh, you got that trade? I would have gave you more. And they're like, really? All right, say less. Touch.
So just to simplify, because I'm going to get into another aspect of it real quick. To simplify,
talk about it.
If a person has maybe if your bench spots are can be filled up with 5 people, but someone wants to be delivered 2 folks to their particular bench and it's full, they can block that trade from happening, just holding that trade in limbo, and then you won't see it come over to your end, is what you're essentially saying. But what I want to bring up was that it happened to me my first year in the league.
Yeah.
And I feel like you knew about that and you didn't tell me till afterwards.
Listen, Cat.
I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anything you say, 5. Go ahead, ask me a question. Did you? 5. I have a secret document that I think you need to say.
It was a baptism by fire. It was hazing.
It was nose. It was nose. Oh no! Oh no! Stop her! Don't get half pint.
That was your rookie year, man.
I had a couple of hazing moments, but
that wasn't the only thing that happened to you.
That wasn't the only thing that happened to me.
You had a no linger too.
I did.
But we're gonna talk about that later.
We'll talk about that later. It's gonna be part of the conversation.
We're gonna talk about the no linger, but yeah. The 2-for. First of all, did you know one of the managers tried to line me up this year?
Yeah, I know. So they gave me that. They
tried to line me up. They know who they are. Okay, so the politics in the league, right? The politics in the league is we look at numbers. Numbers mean everything. There's only 14 managers and it's a circle, right?
Yep.
So if you have a trade, the best chances you have to getting your trade approved is if other trades are on the table at the same time.
Yep.
So what happened was there was a manager that we're not going to say any names. Can't wait. He tried to use what I call monkey sense, right?
Yo.
He tried to sneak in a trade with another manager, and because he always had the 2-for-1 special in his pocket. So he took me and another manager along for the ride, thinking he was gonna 2-for-1 us.
Try to play everybody. You know what? I'm mad, man. You know, it's always Chimdy. I'm gonna call his name out. It's always Chimdy every year. He's doing something.
Come to the show.
Oh my God! It's always. That's why whenever I see your trades come up, I press that button. I do my dance. I do my dance, and I press that button for you, Chimdy. I'm just letting you know.
Do this one more time, man.
Do my dance.
Hey.
Right when it come up. Right when it come up. Touch.
Yo, can't wait. Come to the show, man. You got a lot of explaining to do.
You do.
A lot of explaining.
You do. All right. So really want to talk about some other loopholes on some other platforms real quick.
Yeah.
Right. One of the loopholes that you can also do in a Yahoo platform that we played in before, which is kind of crazy, is that you can accept a trade.
Yep.
And then even though you're involved in the trade, you can veto the trade.
Which is weird.
It is kind of weird.
Yeah.
So if you really want to mess with a manager, like just from like accepting the trade and then calling other people up, you can just easily just veto your own trade.
What kind
of cause commotion in your league and do whatever for that particular week?
I don't like that.
I find that kind of
man.
odd.
I don't like that feature. It's almost like a reneging. I don't like renegas. I said it correctly. So if I call somebody a renega, is that wrong?
We're just gonna keep on going with it. We're just gonna keep on going with it. We can keep on going with
all
it.
these renegas.
Other ways that you can actually play around with managers on the other end, right?
Hey.
Yeah. What, you don't like to play with people? I like to play with people all the time. I don't know what you're talking about. I play with all types of people.
What you do in your personal time is. What are you talking about right now?
I'm talking about fantasy football.
Oh, okay, my bad. It just came out weird for me. I don't know.
Yeah. I play with them. I call them over. Like whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happens. Like all right. So like another thing that you can do is you can drop a kicker.
Yo, cat. Yo, stop, man. Because you know what? It's been about what's the episode this is? Episode whatever, right? But like. Yo, Cat, you be doing a lot though on the show.
What do I do?
You play with managers now? What's going on, man?
I play with managers all the time.
You tell them to come over?
I call them, tell them to come over. I whisper in their ear little somethings.
Oh, what the hell?
All the time so they understand like what kind of business I'm trying to do.
Okay.
It's the only reason I'm doing well in the league because I penetrate every place that I...
Thank you.
I'm about to walk off the show. Yo, producer. Yo, is my. Listen. The guy said all right. Well, okay. So dropping kickers.
No, I can't use
dropping kickers in the defense.
Here's a little thing that you can do when you play against other folks in certain leagues.
Talk about it.
I'm gonna tell you. Drop a kicker or a defense that you normally can stream, right?
Mm-hmm.
And hold on to your opponent's player that they need for that particular week. If you know you have like a tough opponent in like let's say week 10 and it's week 7, right? Just use your foresight to take away players that are going to be of strength to that particular player that's coming up.
So are you talking about basically you're talking about like bye weeks, right?
Yeah.
So in the bye weeks, you notice that a guy needs a kicker, needs a defense.
No, I'm just talking about players in general. So here's what I would do, right?
Okay, talk to me.
So I would normally going into like let's say if I'm playing this player in week 10, right? And I know that they need a strong player on their tight end, but I'm trying my best to pick up any strong tight ends until Saturday.
So you're talking about if you have the roster flexibility, right?
Even if
you're
don't,
sniping.
Because kicker to me and defenses are replaceable. They're streamable.
Right.
Sometimes you can't have foresight into knowing what they're going to do.
You should drop that Buffalo defense then, man.
Nah, I'm not going to drop that Buffalo defense this year.
It's replaceable, bro. They on bye week, bro. Okay. So they have a little bit of value. Continue.
It just depends. It depends on your league settings. I'm not telling everyone to do it.
Okay.
If you're rocking with streaming weeks every week, like if you playing the Washington defense some weeks, then you know you streaming your defense, right? This is only for certain scenarios.
Right.
If you have the capability to go ahead and drop some players either on your bench or like lesser strength, like in a defense or kicker that you could pick up Sunday morning, I say go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Try to block the other manager on the other end from picking up players on that they actually need, and then you can just sit back and laugh while they're struggling that week.
I love that little loophole, you know what I'm saying? And that takes us to the next one. They're sneaky, like you would say. Yeah, Cal, let me hear you say the sneaky.
They're sneaky.
The sneaky pickup. There you go. So that is kind of like goes alongside with this, whereas bye weeks are important, right?
Yeah, they are.
And we know, for example, somebody might need a defense, somebody needs a kicker, and you can pick them up a day before the game and drop them, and then what happens, Cat?
You're just being a little sneaky that day, and you are going to get that manager angry. What?
Okay, Cat.
Charlie?
Okay, so but what really happens? What really happens is that person now becomes no longer a free agent, but goes back onto waivers. So it was almost like a block. Like you play checkers before chess? Yeah. You can use certain pieces.
Same scenario.
Certain pieces to block certain pieces. The only reason why is because you know you do not want them to go into that week with that roster position filled.
Yeah, same scenario. So the next one I want to talk about, you brought it up actually in the previous episode that we had, right?
What's that?
It's picking up a player on like a Thursday night game, usually centered around like the running back backup, because we've been seeing throughout the entire season running backs been getting hurt, right?
Yeah, that's my favorite thing to do. That's
So,
like my
like,
favorite pastime.
You can do that.
Yeah.
I say favorite pastime. You can do that for like Thursday night games, Sunday night games, and even Monday night games. Just picking up like the backup running back, right?
Yeah.
Putting them on your roster, especially if you have that open availability. What that does is it not only irritates the manager who has like the starter.
But that's not my fault. That's like, bro, look, this is my thing, right? We cuff the cuff. You cuff your first round.
100%.
You cuff your valuable pieces, right?
Yep.
If your cuff is available on a Thursday night game, a Sunday night game, and a Monday night game, that's on you.
Yeah, no, I got you. I totally agree
If
with
you
that.
have a Thursday night game, Sunday night game, Monday night game, your cuff shouldn't be on the waiver because anything could happen,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
So always important loophole is always to make space on your roster, even if you don't value your cuff, because if somebody takes him and he gets hurt, he doesn't have to go through waivers.
Yeah, you got to also analyze your league, see what people got. Some people will not drop, like if they can't make room for their cuff is because they have someone on their bench they're not willing to drop, right? So you got to analyze your league, see if like that person was so hell-bent on keeping the play that they actually drop later on. Maybe that's another player you can pick up and trade back to them in the future. You just got to pay attention. I want to give I want to give one more scenario though.
What's up?
So I've done this before.
Talk
This
about
one.
it. What's that?
This was actually pretty good.
Okay.
Right? So here's what you do. When you have a player that's clogging up your bench, right? But they're a good player, but you know you need space to kind of maneuver, and you don't want to drop them because you don't want someone on top picking them up to strengthen up their team.
Okay.
You look for someone on the bottom to trade that person to. And you say to yourself, okay, let's say if I have a team full of like star wide receivers, right? But I have like a good player like Judy on my bench. And he's like the worst player I got for some reason, and I don't want him anymore. But I don't want to drop him because I know he's going to help someone else.
So you basically saying offload to somebody that's not a threat to you.
Exactly. And then you trade him. That person thinks like, wow, I get this good player, but you're in last place.
Right.
I don't care. Like, you're not making it to the playoffs.
Send him to the
You're not
elephant
doing anything.
graveyard.
We made it. Whoa.
So set him up and you say, got him. Then you soften him up, right? Thinking that he could get over on you. Like, yo, you know how I hooked you up with this trade on this time?
Yeah.
Next time, hook me back up.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. A favor for a favor. A favor. See, now you learning, bro.
I am the one, the way your son don't need a gun.
That's the politics that people don't get. It's a favor for a favor, man.
So that's the last of like the scenarios for the loopholes.
Can we talk about this honorable mention?
I do want to talk about
Nalinga?
honorable mention. Yes, because and I want you to. It's a very emotional story to me.
All right, let's get straight into it, Kat.
Because it was done to me.
Yeah,
This
I
is an honorable
apologize.
mention
We doing this podcast. We
something that you should not do.
we got over it, obviously.
We did.
All right.
It happened to me. This is one of the parts that the quote unquote hazing was done to me
Right.
and not told. But we gonna let old tell the story.
It's a very simple story. That was your first year in the league. And you knew we were savages, but I guess you didn't know. But now you know, right? And you had sent me a trade. I forgot who the pieces were. And I didn't press accept. Because the trade was very disrespectful. And I was like, this guy is disrespecting me. And then the player that you wanted got hurt. My player got hurt.
They're in the game. Yep.
They're in the game. And the trade was still there. So I taught you a very valuable lesson. Don't let your pieces out there for too long. And I accepted the trade.
So I said, I remember. I said, hey.
That's what we call the no linger. Don't let nothing linger. If the trade is out there and somebody's hurt, cancel it before I press accept.
I said, hey, oh, how can you do this to me? I'm your brother. You brought me in the league and then you take a trade.
I just had to put you on to.
I'm reliving it, man. But it's okay. I learned my lesson. Don't ever let trades sit there.
Don't let trades sit there. If they don't accept, cancel the trade. Cancel the trade.
But that's another just thing that we want to make sure you guys knew.
Yeah. But the milkmen, listen, I want you guys to do us a favor. Where's my mic? Okay, you go. Let us know some loopholes that you guys might have in your league other than what we talked about. Was that Mike? Okay. For the milkmen out there, let me know some of the loopholes that you guys have, because these are the ones that we saw on the platforms that we're on.
Yep.
Put in the comments some of the loopholes that you guys have that we should have talked about today.
Guys, we thank you so much for coming on.
Yes, sir.
And watching, what they got to do. Oh,
like and subscribe.
We do what we do like we doing it for TV, baby.
Yes, sir.
We are out of here. Another episode in the books, baby.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Easy.